Red Dead Redemption 2 is probably going to be regarded and go down in history as one of the best games of all time, but yet still many people have never played it. Hello and welcome to the Critically Clueless on a Monk, and today, yes, we are going to be reviewing Red Dead Redemption 2, and I'm going to be giving you my insights within this game, having spent hundreds of hours, not only within the main story mode, but also in the online game as well. I've played with friends, and we have shared stories, and we've really tried to explore this game to its full extent. Now, if you haven't ever played this game before, you may not know that this is actually a prequel to Red Dead Redemption, the very first game. Within this game, you're in 1899 and you take on the role of Arthur Morgan. And it's an epic tale of honor, loyalty at the dawn of the modern age. Yes, you are a gunslinger and you're going around on horseback, going, really immersing yourself in the Western style of life. And if you ever wanted to play an open world game set in that world where you get to be a cowboy making your own decisions, then there really is no better game. You have full control over what it is you want to do in this game, and the destiny, the way this game ends, is fully up to you. Yes, the decisions that you make within this game have consequences to how it ends. There are multiple endings. There's also a morality system where you can be both good and bad. You may have just seen that I was rather naughty. I did end somebody's existence. I stole their hat and I stole their horse, and because of it I earned myself a little bit of negative morality points. And that actually wasn't a mission in a game. It certainly wasn't a main mission in a game. It was just happened to be an event that I stumbled upon. But throughout this game, you will get side missions in which you get multiple choices on how you want to end that side mission, if you want to do it at all, or just ride straight on past. There are many main missions for you to follow as well, and really explore this world for what it has to offer. And every single inch of this world is just breathtakingly beautiful. If you don't know already, this game was both published and developed by Rockstar Games. Of course, they are famous for making GTA. And unfortunately, we never really got any DLC for this game whatsoever. We did get an online mode, but that was kind of very quickly abandoned as well. So what you buy is pretty much what you get. However, there are different versions that you can buy. This is probably my only negative for this game, is that you have to buy the bigger version in order to get everything. Certain missions, certain content is completely blocked off from you if you don't invest in that extra product. I think that's a real shame. I think that is a shame for gaming industry in general. It seems to be something that plenty of companies do these days, but it is what it is. That being said, this game is now 6 years old. It being 6 years old, you can pick it up pretty cheap. In fact, I think you can pick up the base game for around £20, depending, of course, which platform you're buying it on, and it's pretty much available on every platform out there. But I think what sets this game apart from most other games has to be the level of detail that is in this game. As you can see, I've popped into a corner shop and I am quite literally picking items off the shelves, which is unusual to say the least, as, in many open world games. But everywhere you go in this world is just full of detail. This world feels like a living, breathing world. You could be doing anything at any time and something could pop up. An eventuality could pop up, an odd event that has a chance of happening. Everyone can be spoken to as well, some more kindly than others, and it may lead in an argument, of course, and that could have consequences too, like for instance you getting involved with the law, which is never a good thing, or you having to deal with a witness or two. I think one of the things that I love most about this game is that when you are in this world, you really do have free will to do what you want when you want. After you complete, you know, the first starting area, the whole world kind of opens up to you, and you're not forced into going down the main mission route. In fact, you are kind of just in the camp, able to go in whatever direction you want. Many people have spent hundreds of hours within this game having never completed it, and still quite happy with the time that they played within the game. If you want to go hunting, for instance, this game is a great game for all of those wannabe hunters. There's a variety of different weapons you can do, different rifles that you can have, different bows and arrows that you can use to hunt the various different game within this world, and all of it needs to be hunted within a certain way to get the highest profits that you can make. You also have an incentive to want to go hunting, because eating and preparing food does have its benefits within this game. So whether you want to make some money or you just want to fill your belly, then hunting can play a pretty big role in your game. And when you do find a camp, or you go back to your own camp, there's always little things for you to do, little mundane things that you don't necessarily have to do, but you can choose to do so. Like, for instance, you can cook all of that meat that you just collected hunting, or of course you can prepare arrowheads, you could prepare ammo, or of course, if it's not your camp, you could always go looting. And there is a lot of loot for you to go around collecting too. I think one of the things I like as well is that as you go around the world, you will find a variety of different guns. Like I said, you could literally just start this game and go to point A on the map and find yourself a gun that you don't have. If you pick it up, you unlock it. That is your gun to then use. Go ahead, buy some ammo for it, and you are good to go. That same thing can be said for a melee weapon. Perhaps you go ahead and go to Saint Denis and pick up the sword in a boat, and hey, you've started the game with a sword, which is pretty awesome. Or perhaps you fancy yourself at cards. Yes, gambling is in this game. Poker is just one of the many forms of gambling that you can get involved in within Red Dead Redemption 2. I actually fancy myself at poker most of the time, so I do find myself having a couple of hours spent just doing this very thing. After all, a cowboy has to make a living, and things cost money in this game, whether it is ammo, whether it is clothes, maybe it's a brand new saddle, maybe you want to tweak how your favorite revolver looks. All of it is going to cost a lot of money, and therefore you're going to be constantly trying to grind out more and more cash. And of course, if the hunting, the gambling isn't enough for you, you could always try your hand at fishing. This game has it. All the water mechanics in this game are absolutely beautiful as well. I don't think there are many games that get water quite as right as which Red Dead does. It works very, very well. You have complete control to go into that water, dive into that water, swim in that water. If you're on a boat and you shoot at the bottom of the floor, your boat is gonna sink. You know, it really is a very well detailed game, and fishing is just the same. There are different rods that you can have, there are different baits that you can use, there are many different fish that you can catch, weighing all kinds of variety of different things as well. And of course, more achievements than you can shake a stick at. And of course, we've gone into a 9-minute video right now without even mentioning the voice acting and the cutscenes. This game could be its own movie at times. None of these cutscenes are boring. All of them are beautifully voice acted. And honestly, I couldn't think of a better narrative-driven game.
You better sleep your way to salvation, my friend.
Oh, what happened?
Just the usual.
Poor bastard.
Exactly.
Well, thank you, Mr. Morgan. I'll keep an eye on him.
Honestly, Red Dead Redemption 2 is a masterpiece of a game. like I said, the level of detail that has gone into this game, like for instance, your own appearance, if you go through a muddy field, if you get knocked over in a fight, if your horse goes through mud, like these things have visual consequences. People will walk past you and comment on your appearance based on that too. And I don't want to ruin anyone's experience, but in my opinion, Red Dead Redemption 2 has one of the best endings of any game that I have ever played. And those are just a few reasons why I highly recommend Red Dead Redemption 2 to anybody that hasn't played it yet. I'm going to give this game a 9.5 out of 10, which I believe hits the biggest mark that I've ever given any game. Now, I'm a strong believer that no game is perfect, and I've already listed why I don't think this game is perfect. I do think the microtransactions, I do think locking content behind a paywall isn't on at all. But apart from that, I honestly love this game, and I highly recommend it to absolutely anybody, especially now, especially 6 years on. This game doesn't feel dated at all. Not only is it not dated at all, but it is so cheap to pick up in the stores these days too. And don't forget, guys, if you have stayed around to the very end of this love letter to a video game, then don't forget to comment Red Banana down below. Just confuse all those people that are new to the channel or that didn't watch to the very end. And if you haven't done so already, we would very much appreciate hitting that subscribe button and, of course, hitting that thumbs up. But until next time, I've been a monk who's been Inquisitor, and I'll see you in the next video real soon. Until then, take it easy and happy gaming.